lost the house, lost her partner, lost her kids, and then 6 months later she took an overdose.
What kind of money were people making in this industry at the height of it? Like, what were some of the lavish lifestyles that you saw? You know, how much money could a top broker working for one of these scam companies make in a month?
I've seen people take home like £1 million
In a month?
a month.
Wow.
But like good loaders were taking half a bar, 300k, 100ks, 50s, like depends. Like, but back then you getting like, it was obviously a spank, so, but back then you can get 20, 30, 50% comms. It's almost like Wolf of Wall Street, like pink sheets. You get 50%, John? Like, yeah, like that's what you could get. And people are going ham because you think it's real and you're doing whatever you can to go and get that dough. And if you've done like, again, you've done 200 grand, you just made 100 quid. That's 100 grand. Those kind of points don't exist anymore because again, the products or proper products are real.
Can you talk about loading? Can you talk about loading? Because I was finding it fascinating because you get them in on like a 5k or 10k and then you're telling them that their investment goes up. Can you talk about how that works?
Yeah, just to add to that as well, just on Luke's point, what type of manipulation tactics would a top loader, I shouldn't say top loader, but a loader that made a lot of money, how did they manipulate the client to take them for their life savings, just to raise some awareness?
Like it's about building trust and then building rapport. So a loader or a good loader will do it over a 5, 10, even 15 call process, where a closer will go in and I'm closing you today, or I may give you a little bit of time to think about it. You may need to do a bit more research, I may need to send you something, right? And then therefore you may go in a couple of days later. But a loader will build that rapport, they'll take time, they'll establish that they're an expert in their field. They talk about stats, figures, about the stock market, they obviously know what's in their portfolio because that's what the opener does, find out what's in there, finds out what's good. So the loader or good loader will already have these stats, how much their top performer's gone up, how much it's gone down, and they'll create stories of why they should move from A to B. We call it a tactical switch. You can do, again, a tactical switch isn't a bad thing because ultimately, if you've got bits in your portfolio, I do it now, like my stocks or my crypto, there's something that's not working, you cut it away. You get rid of it and you put it into something that's going to give you far better return. So this is something that we use today, but the loaders would obviously use that and use other techniques, embedded commands. By now, you realise that this product is probably one of the best products you've ever seen. This product will give you X, Y, and Z. This product does this. I'm not going to say certain spins and stuff, but ultimately that's it. This buy now is an embedded command.
Can you explain what an embedded command is for the listeners?
Yeah, so embedded command is when you say certain things to an individual. So you've got the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. The conscious mind obviously makes us talk or makes us do this. The unconscious mind is how we walk, how we breathe. There's certain patterns that we'll adopt. You ever had it where you're driving a car and you're on your way home and you're just daydreaming, you're thinking about shit, and next thing you know, you're at home. You're at home because you're on autopilot. Your subconscious basically takes you there, right? So if I'm saying things like buy now, I'm basically telling you to buy now. What I used to use was when he wasn't, when he basically needed another call, is I'd be like, I guarantee you tonight, probably about 10, 11 o'clock when you're sitting in your bed, you're going to be thinking about how good this particular product is. You're going to be thinking about the benefits, how much it's going to give you. I'll start reading off stats and figures. And then what's going to happen? I'm going to give you a call tomorrow. You're going to be happy and you're going to move forward. I'm basically programming the subconscious. I guarantee you, it doesn't always work because some people aren't susceptible to it. And you got to have the rapport as well, yeah? And it just comes down to trust and gaining that relationship and do these embedded commands. People don't think about it. And you don't say, normally when you pitch, it'd be features and benefits, pivots. What that means to you is this. You can give someone a feature all day long, but ultimately it's, what does that mean to me? It doesn't mean fuck all unless you tell me. But if your subconscious is thinking about the features, naturally you're going to think about the benefits. So there's loads.
So you'd find that, so you'd go do that, and then the next day you call them, and they've a lot of time they probably have thought about it because you've made them think about it. Effectively, they've probably even dreamt about it. Some of them, right?
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? You'd like to. But yeah, that's ultimately it.
So NLP, obviously, we all did some NLP stuff. What was it, year before last or something? We've spoke about it before on the pod a few times. But so we specifically did training for a few days with someone that's like an NLP practitioner. how did they train you guys to it? Did they have it? Was it like a daily occurrence, weekly? Did they bring people into the office, or you just being in that environment?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there was a company that flew over Jordan Belfort for certain training, and the guy you're talking about, I know you're talking about, and again, he's available for like to go into like you guys done NLP. We didn't have that. Yeah, we didn't even know NLP, like the stuff like buy now, and all, like hypnotic sales. Again, when you're going through like the consolidation, it's a really, really easy process. It's probably one of the most easiest processes I've seen in investments. So then you're, again, see the tonality and how I'm delivering that sentence. So when they're thinking about the process, oh, it's really easy. Really easy. Like some people will learn. I'm like, my mentor taught me things, but all this shit is like self-taught. Afterwards, I'll show you my book stuff on my phone, and I've got all sorts of like NLP, dark persuasion, normal sales, Zig Ziglar, like all sorts. So I'm pretty much like self-taught, which any decent salesperson should do by doing their personal development.
What would you say is one of the darkest things you saw or witnessed in that industry?
It probably goes back to the land days. So one of the guys, this guy was ruthless, like absolutely old boy. I think he was like, I don't know, I was a kid then, so he must have been in his like early to mid 40s anyway. But he was like top boy, and basically he got this woman to refinance her house and top up her savings account to buy this particular bit of land. It turned out to be a brownfield, which obviously you can't do anything with. She didn't. I need to get the story right. I don't think she told the husband or the partner. I think it might be a partner or something. Anyway, they had kids. I don't know if they were married, but she refinanced the house, put additional money in. Obviously didn't quite work on the basis that she would get the money back in 6 months. Didn't get it back. Lost the house. Lost her partner. Lost her kids. And then 6 months later, she took an overdose.
Fuck. Did she die?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
That's
How much did
crazy.
she invest in this product?
Half a bar, or $500,000.
That's crazy.
What happened to the guy that convinced her to do this?
I don't know, he's probably sitting on the Maldives still.
So they didn't get anything, no comeback.
Not enough.
Am I right in saying the majority of people that were in the industry around that time, that were spanking people, they never got caught?
Some do, some don't. Like again, a lot of the land guys. Some of them did, some of them didn't. Same as Carvin, some did, some didn't. And a lot of brokers use false identities, especially if it's a spank. You know, like you don't want to use don't want to use your real name, because ultimately, like some spanks you know are outright spanks. They've been set up basically to spank people. Like some of the clones, you basically sit there and you'll go through the FCA website and you'll scroll down and you'll find a company that has no contact details. They're regulated. There's no address. There's no telephone number. There's no email address. And then what you basically do is you say you're them. You create a website. Say you're them. Say you're regulated, and say sell a product. So ultimately, the client thinks it's real, but you've absolutely just spanked the life out of them. So.
How would you describe the character then of these, especially like the guys back in the land days, right? The guys that were taking people for their life savings. Was there any remorse there at all, or were they just complete sociopaths?
No one gave a shit. But again, like I generally think the loaders and that probably did know that it was a bit dookie. But us as openers or fresh seniors, you're wet behind the ears. Like you don't know what's real. You don't know you just think, oh my god, this guy's done 150 grand. Like wow, $500,000. Like you're like, raw buzzing.
So only a select few people that understand that it is a spank or a scam.
I personally think so. Yeah, I think there's no way you're like 40, 45. You're doing that amount of money, or maybe there was oblivious.
When did you come to understand that when did you understand this whole side to these businesses?
When I've had a few of my own businesses, and when you do products, like I mentioned earlier, you do products and you generally think they're real. You generally think they're real, and even the ones that are real turn out to be spanks. Until, just trying to think, I don't know if it's a bit about like 90% of every single thing I've ever sold has probably been a spank, or started off real, and then the guys have got greedy and just run away with the money. That's not your fault as a broker or a salesperson. You're doing what you're there to do.
Have things ever? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go on.
I was just going to ask if things have ever kind of almost collapsed or came on top of you. Like, has anything from the past ever caught up with you, like in terms of any kind of legal
Yeah,
proceedings?
things happen. And again, from when I was young, I didn't even realise it was a spank. There was letters from banks and this and that, and like you read it and you think, oh right, this is real, amazing. No, didn't exist. Got fucked.
So you're without knowing, you've basically caused people to lose millions of pounds by selling to them.
That's a bit deep when you think about it like that. But yeah, like you don't know. Like, I didn't know. I'm pretty sure a lot of the brokers didn't know, but some of them did, which makes it deep. You know what I mean? Like we were saying earlier, like I've seen people that they got Alzheimer's, or you hear the call. I mean, me, like I'll speak to someone. Even then, back then, because I thought it was real, I'll speak to them, and if you can tell they're not the full ticket. Like there's something wrong with them. I was like, John, I spoke to you yesterday. Oh, I can't remember. Or like you can hear he's a little bit. There's something wrong with him, right? I would leave that person. I'm like, all right, no worries about it. I'll just dead him off, just take him off the system. There's brokers out there that will take that person for every single bean they've got. They are ruthless. Like I was saying earlier, even if you've got someone like in their 60s, like it's got 200 grand, you get some of the guys, they're taking their whole money. They're taking everything. They're taking 200 grand. I want to take 200 grand. I'll take half. Like that's just, it's business. Yeah, I'm not going to leave them without nothing, but I generally would, take half or go for half, because I generally thought that particular product would do them better than where their money is now. Back in them days, like 0.5, 1%, 8%, whatever they're getting, what I'm selling, what I'm introducing them to, you give them 12, 15, 20%, or they've got the possibilities of achieving their goals, which is to, retire wealthy, have that financial freedom, go on more holidays, put their kids through private schools. You generally think you're helping them. And sometimes it ain't the broker's fault, which I keep saying, and I want to solidify that. It's not always the broker's fault. And even introducers, sometimes it's not their fault. They're just introducers. They don't know. It's the people behind the actual company itself.